Hello everyone, I'm RiverFox and welcome to the channel. And today we are going to be carrying on with our Canny Valley AFK endurance builds. Now if you have missed any of the videos for this series, then do check out the playlist. Will be linked in the description down below. It will cover all of the SSD and endurance builds for this. So today we are going to be on Amplifier A. And for this one, now they can come from both the north and from the east, but for this video today we are going to be covering the north side. So for this we are going to get over to our builds. Now this is just a brief quick look of what it does all look like. So it is quite extensive. There's quite a lot of lobber shield and everything for this one, because you will have a lot of lobber waves on this. So for the first thing first then, now we do have a little basic defenses on our actual amplifier, and this is called a lighthouse build. Now normally you would have a second layer on the top here of archways, but for this one I've just gone with the basic build for it. So to do this, you will have edited walls like this, which will go on the four corners of this amplifier like so. And you can then have a you can either have it edited out as a normal floor, or you can have it edited as half floor, whichever. But you do only need to worry about at least two sides of it, just to make sure that it does all stay in place. Because if you take these two pieces out, then this top section of edited archways will not be able to actually stand up. So it does need to have at least two floor pieces on two of the sides somewhere, just to be able to hold it all together. So that is our actual amplifier and the basic build around that. So for the purpose of this, what we are going to do, because it's quite extensive, so we're going to go through and try and cover everything as a step-by-step guide if possible. So for this, if you start then from this point here and go forward one tile from this sort of floor of the amplifier, and if you are facing towards the north side, what you will do is you will place a wall, one wall straight in front of you. And if you then go to the left of that and place another wall, and then if you go left one more tile, now you are going to place a floor piece, and you are going to place another wall. And if you then go one more tile over from that again, and you will place another floor piece and another wall, and one more tile over from there, you are going to place then a floor. So that will cover the first sort of section of it. So if we get back over now to this point, and up above this wall here, we do have a edited cone to make a ramp, or you can use your backwards stairs, whichever one you prefer. So you're going to place one on top of this end piece here, and then move to your right and place a second one like so, and then a third one to the right of that as well. Now to the next one over. Now you will notice underneath this last one here, we do also have a floor piece which is placed here as well. So on this square here, you will then place a floor tile. Now the only reason that this one is in wood is if you do use your base ability in your endurance, then this is the spot that I will place this at. You don't have to necessarily put it as a wood structure, but I only did that just so that it was easy for you to understand what that square is for. So from this wooden piece then, you will place a wall in front of you, and you will place a wall to the right of you as well. Now we can't actually get in there because there's quite an open space in there, but you will also, just on the edge of here, you will have this wooden sort of structure which does go all the way up to the top. So you may need to destroy some of the wooden pieces for it, but you will place another wall on this side, and as you can see there, you will place one on that side as well. So that will cover that bit there. Now we're going to go to all of the defenses down underneath here. We'll go to those in a moment, but if we just follow from this end piece here where we've placed our edited cone, if you go up to the top of that, and you will be placing a floor tile. And let's see, we'll leave that bit up there for a moment. Once you've placed this floor tile here, if you move to the right one square and place a second floor tile, and then to the right you will place a third floor tile. Now you will then leave, for the moment, leave the rest of these. That is fine. So that will cover that bit. Now what you'll need to do then, if you come to the end of this, and if you just walk along here just to the edge of this section, okay, and you are going to need to place in some walls here, but these won't have anything at the moment to attach them to a structure, so you won't physically be able to place that there without placing the rest. So just for temporary, if you place this floor piece down, and then at this piece here, this square, you will place a wall in front of you, and then to the right of that you will place a second wall, and to the right of that you are going to place a third wall. Now once that third wall is in and it is attaching itself to this floor piece over here, then you can just go ahead and destroy that piece. So from the corner again, you are going to do exactly the same, but this time you're going to go up 2 tiles high on this end one, and then go across, and you will again do another 2 tiles high there, which fetches you in line with this. So if we come up here, now on here you are again going to do another 2 tiles, and then to the right you will do another 2 tiles high, and then right again, and you will have another 2 tiles high. And although you can't get over here temporarily, if you place 2 temporary floors here, and from this point will be another 2 high, and then the next one across will be another 2 high, and that will do your main sort of wall block off to prevent those lobbers and flingers. So then you can get rid of those 2 structures, you won't need those at all. So we've got all of these wall pieces in. So now we need to get to the actual shield. So if you come all the way to the end of this these wall pieces we placed, and what you will do then, you will have your edited cone into a ramp or your backward stairs, whichever you prefer, and you are going to go up 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so you'll go up 4 tiles from there. Now this then is going to go all the way to the ends of our wall pieces that we have placed here. So you are going to go across then from this point, from this one here, you will go across 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So that will take you across there, and then all you will need to do is fill in all of these pieces all the way to the top, so that they are in line with the ends of that one over there. So that will fetch you up to this section. So from here you are going to place a wall to your right hand side, and then next to that will be another wall placed there as well. And then still facing the north now, if you go up 1 tile and then right 1 tile, and you are going to place another 3 of these edited pieces on here. So we got 1, 2 and 3, and from this point then, if you turn move across to the right again and place another 3 going up there, and that will do all of your lobber shield. So we're going to come back to this square now. This is the extra piece that we've added in. Now if you turn around so that you are facing to the south, And you are going to place then a floor piece, and to the left of that you will place another floor piece, and if you walk forward you are going to place then another 2 and another 2 on there as well. So that will take you up to the end of this natural wooden structure, which is here. So at this point, when you move forward, what you will do is you will drop down, which underneath here is a natural ridge, which, if I just get rid of that for a moment, you've got this natural bit of a ridge here. So at this point, you are going to place 2 edited floors, which will be edited like that. One in this square and one to the square to the right of it. And then if we get up here, then you will be placing your edited cones. So for this square, you will have your edited cone, which will be pointing to the northwest. And the next square along is going to be pointing to the northeast. And once you have done both of those, you can then surround the whole thing then in walls, which will go all the way around. Because over the other side of this, there is a little bit of the edge of the sort of rock face, and we don't want them going over there at all. So that is going to cover this section. Now, once you have done all of that, if you just step back 1 tile to this tile here, and you can edit this piece out, or you can put this in before you do it, whichever. If you drop down into this box, now we do have another edited cone here, and this is going to be pointing to our northwest. And you will surround that then on the 4 sides with walls. And underneath the edited cone, we do have another edited floor piece, the same as over there. Make sure that it is pointing that direction, and that will cover that piece. So that is all of the top section on here. So if we just drop down here, now this is that box that we have just done. So from this square here, you will place a sound wall on this wall. To the right of that, you are going to have a edited wall, which will be on the left hand side. And if you go forward into here, that wall is already in there, that's fine. This wall is already in there, so just place a sound wall on there. And you are going to have a tar pit on the bottom, and you are going to have a ceiling electric field up above. So if you then do a turn and point towards the north, back out here. Now this wall we have already placed in, so that is fine. So you would just place a wall launcher on that. On the floor, you were going to have a tar pit, and just to the left of this, just in front of our sound wall, is another tar pit. And up above here, we are gonna have 4 ceiling electric fields, which are going to cover these 4 areas. Now, if you do come forward one little bit, now this is where our sort of structure goes up, and you can just see behind it there. This is our lobber shield, which we've placed up. Now, the reason you do need to have this little piece placed in here is because sometimes they will come to this point and they will try and start lobbing through this open gap otherwise, and causing damage. They won't be able to get through it, but the lobbers, especially if they don't get taken out by the ceiling electric field straight away, they can stand there and start lobbing. So that is our main section up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get back down to the start where we were just now. Okay, so this is the section where we started all of our lobber shield and our blockade. So from this point now, if you turn to the east, and if you go across here, now we've already placed these 2 floors down, that is fine. So if you go to the right 1 square, which is just in the corner of our amplifier, and from here, if you walk forward, you are going to be placing a wall on your left with a broadside, a wall straight in front with a sound wall, and a wall on the right hand side which will have another broadside, and just above that you will have a ceiling electric field. So if you go one tile further forward now from this point, if you place a wall in this square here with a wall lights on there, and underneath this floor which we've already placed, place a ceiling gas trap. So that is that square. So from here now then we will walk forward one more square, and we are going to have a tar pit on the floor. To the left of us will be a wall launcher. Straight in front will be a bare wall. Don't need to put anything on that one. And up above we have a ceiling gas trap. So from this point then, if you move left one tile, we'll have another tar pit on the floor. To our left then is going to be a broadside, and behind us, directly behind us where we've placed the wall already, there will be a wall launcher, and up above then we're going to have a ceiling gas trap. Now if you walk forward one tile from there, now you won't be able to place anything in front of you directly, so don't worry about that one. But on the floor will be a tar pit, to your right will be a wall launcher, and up above is going to be a ceiling gas trap. So from this point then, if you move left one tile, you are going to have a floor launcher on the floor. In front of you will be a broadside, and there will be another broadside then on the left. Now up above you there's nothing really up here. These walls we have placed before, so they should already be there. And I will go into that section in a bit. We'll cover that in a little while. But from this point here then, it's easier I think if you turn around, face the west, and if you then move forward one square, you will have a tar pit on the floor. On your left hand side will be a wall launcher, and straight in front of you then will be a broadside. And up here, which we've already got our wooden piece set up there, so you will have a ceiling electric field up there. Now on the right hand side of you, you are going to have a edited wall to make it into a archway, just so that we have got somewhere for our structures up above, just to keep them in place in case anything does get blown up. Then at least it won't take away our structures up there. So from this point then, if you move to the right one square, now directly in front of you, you are going to have a edited wall piece, which will be on the left hand side. On your right hand side then, you are going to have a wall. Now you don't necessarily have to have the window in it. That is entirely up to you. I just put the window in so I can keep a check on what is happening in the other side. But if you do, then make sure you put the window in before you put your sound wall lights on. Otherwise you won't be able to edit the window later. So that is on the right, and yes, we'll get to this bit then in a minute. So from this point here then, if you then turn around to the east, and you are going to have a edited wall which will be on your right hand side. If you go forward one tile, you will have a bare wall then on the left, a broadside straight ahead, and a bare wall then on the right. And that will cover that section there. So if we get back to this one facing the west, and if you go forward one tile, you will have a floor launcher, and directly in front of you will be a sound wall, and then to your right you will have a bare wall. Now on the left side here, there won't be any archway or anything in this piece, but up above here you will have three edited cones or backward ramps, whichever, along this stretch, so that every time they get hit by these launchers, it will fling them into this box which is behind here. So from this bit, if you come from that square down here, and if you go to your right into this box, and from here you will have a floor launcher. On your left hand side where the wall already is, you will have your wall lights. In front will be a bare wall, and to your right then will be a sound wall. Now just above that, just above this wall, you will need to place another bare wall. Now you do need to make sure that you do place these second row of walls, because up here there is a section which, if you leave these top walls out, then your husks can actually get flung down here and they will get stuck in this point, which means they're just going to bash against this wall. So do make sure that you put that second row in. Okay, so from this point here then, you're going to move to the right 1 square. You're going to have a sound wall. Above that will be a bare wall, and another floor launcher on the floor. And then behind you, where we've got our edited window, you will have a wall light. So from here then, if you go to your right, exactly the same. We've got a sound wall in front, floor launcher on the floor, and a sound wall on the what will be your back side, and on your right will be a bare wall there. So that will cover the sort of timeout room there. So if we come back to this box, and if you move left 1 tile, and if you then turn around, so you are facing the east, and you are going to have a tar pit on the floor. A sound wall then will be on the wall in front of you, and you will have a wall launcher which is on the right hand side, and up above on the ceiling up there will be a ceiling electric field. So that is that section. Now from this square then, facing the west again, if you move forward just onto this ramp, and on your right hand side you will have a wall. There won't be any trap or anything you need to put on it, that'll be fine. All this lot up there, that is already covered before. So if you then move forward 1 square again, you're going to place a tar pit on the floor, a broadside to your left, and a broadside straight in front, and just above you will be a ceiling electric field. To the right 1 square of that, exactly the same, you're going to have a tar pit on the floor, you will have the broadside on in front of you, and you will have a ceiling electric field up above. So if you turn around and face to your east and go forward 1 tile. Now we've placed this wall already, so if you put a broadside on there and place a broadside and wall on this structure in front of you here. So from this point, go left 1 square and place another broadside. Now this up here is our box. So these 2 up here will already be in place. You don't need to worry about those. So we've got broadside on this one. Now from this point then, if you turn then again back to the west, and if you go forward now to where your tar pit is there, and if you then move to your right 1 square. Now this is personal preference what you want to place in this spot. I've placed a floor launcher just to sort of make them bounce up and down, but you can put a tar pit, you can put a floor freeze trap or whatever you want to put on this square. It doesn't actually matter too much. So from this square then, if you move forward and on your right you are going to place a wall, and that will have a broadside placed on there. Now if you need to, as a temporary, because it may not let you until you get further round, if you need to, you can put a temporary floor here just so it's got something to attach this to, because it's off the ground. It may not let you place that until you actually get further around. So it might be an idea just to place a temporary floor down here. So from this square then, if you move left 1 And on the corner here, you are going to place a broadside. And if you go forward 1 square, again, on the left, you will have another broadside. And then if you go to your right and place a second broadside next to that one over there. And then if you go forward from here, now we're going to cover that bit in a bit. But from this point, if you go right over to this corner, this is the corner of the big mountain. So from this point, you're going to place 2 walls with 2 broadsides in those from there. So that will cover that section. Now, if we get back then to our last broadside we placed here, so you go forward 1 square, and as you are turning around this natural mountain here, from this point, you're going to place another broadside, and then forward 1 more, you will place another broadside on there. And on the left from this one, if you move to the left 1 square, you will place a wall then on the left hand side with a broadside on that. Now up above here, you will have a ceiling with a ceiling electric field, and you will also have one under over the top of this broadside here. So you've got 2 ceiling electric fields on that. So from this point then, you are going to walk just down to the sort of top of this natural flowing ramp. And on this, you are going to place a ceiling drop trap, and then to the right of that, another ceiling drop trap. And you will do exactly the same on the next row across. You will have a ceiling drop trap and a ceiling drop trap on there as well. So that will cover that section. Now there is another bit around here. So if we just come around this way and up this natural ramp here. Now from this, just at the top of this natural ramp, if you place a floor piece, now I've put retractable floor spikes. You can put either floor spikes or wooden floor spikes or whatever you want there, just to cause some additional damage. And I have placed on the right hand side some wall darts, because we don't have any structures over there, so there's no point putting any broadside too much on there. And I have put a ceiling electric field up above. If you move forward 1 square from here, again a retractable floor spikes on here, and we have a wall darts to our left, wall darts to our right, and a ceiling electric field up above. And from this point here, if you start heading up to this ramp, this natural ramp here, and just before you get to the top, on your right hand side, you can place a wall launcher. And if you then move up to the top here and place a retractable floor spikes with a wall launcher and a ceiling electric field. From this point then, if you move left 1 square, you can place a retractable floor spikes on the floor. To your left, a broadside, and on the ceiling, a ceiling electric field. From this point, move forward 1 square and another retractable floor spikes, and on the left hand side you will have a sound wall. Now for this one, there is a ceiling piece up here, but we don't have any trap or anything on that. There's no need for that. So that will cover that lot there, which all links in nicely with this over there. Now I'm going to just get up to this point, because up the top from here, they will want to fall down in this direction. So from here, from this corner piece here, from this square, okay, you are going to fall down onto this point here. Now this is like a floating platform, okay? So what we will need to do, if I can get there, okay, if we come all the way back down to our bottom section here, where we've built our, this is our ramps, so that they will fling them all into that box that we did just now. So if you come on to this point, okay, and if you place a wall in front of you there, and also a wall to your right, and above that place a floor piece up there. And what I'm going to do is just get up here now so that we are up on the top of it. Now this is the section here then that we have already built on from before. So okay, so this then is the back of there. We've placed our ceiling piece on there. So we are over on this point now. So if you place a wall directly there, and this section then is already what we've placed in earlier on. So this is all going to be there already. So you just place one wall in front of you on that point. You will place a floor here with a tar pit on, and to your left will be a wall launcher. If you turn around now towards the north and go forward one square, place a floor with a floor launcher, and to your right will be a bare wall, and in front of you will be a wall with a sound wall on it. Move left one square and you have another floor launcher, and in front of you will be a sound wall. So this then should tie in then with this section which we did in here just a moment ago. So that is, yeah, that is pretty much all of that side there. So we can get rid of this one now. We don't need that piece there now. That should all be connected and attached. So from this point here, where we have placed our broadsides in the corner down here, if you start heading up this ramp here, now there will be this natural sort of square here, which will be at the bottom of this natural ramp. So from this point we'll take, on your left hand side, you will have a wall launcher, and right up here, now you can either stick it on the natural wooden structure that they have, or you can remove that, place a ceiling tile or whatever that you need, but place a ceiling electric field up there. Now from here then you start heading up the ramp here, the natural ramp. Now you can, if you want, you can place a ceiling here, and you could, if you wanted, you could place a ceiling drop trap on there, because that will then put them, they will fall all the way down this ramp. But I didn't have one before, but you can place one if you want. So from here at the top of this natural ramp, then we will have a tar pit, and to your right you are going to have a broadside. In front will be a wall launcher, and up above then a ceiling electric field. So from this point then, if you turn to face the south, and if you go forward one square, now on your right hand side will be a sound wall, on the floor will be retractable floor spikes, and on the left then will be wall lights, and up above a ceiling electric field. Move forward then one more tile, and you will have a tar pit on the floor. You will have a sound wall on your right hand side, and a wall launcher on in front of you, and also then a ceiling electric field up above. From this point here, if you turn again then to face the east and go forward one square, and you will have retractable floor spikes on the floor. On the left will be wall lights, on the right will be wall lights, and up above will be ceiling electric field. Move forward then another square, and again the same thing, retractable floor spikes on the floor, wall lights on your left and right hand side, and ceiling electric field up above. From there, move forward one more square again. You are going to have a tar pit on the floor. You will have a edited wall on the right hand side in front of you, and on the right then you will have a wall launcher with a ceiling electric field up above. Now from this point, if you move forward, move left one square, and you will have a retractable floor spike. You will have a bare wall then in front of you, and behind you will be a wall. Now I've got some wall dynamos. You can put any trap, any wall trap you like in there. To be honest, it doesn't really matter. And up above, then you will have your ceiling electric field. So if we come back over to this one, now if we then move forward 1 square, you're going to have a floor launcher. On the left hand side will be a bare wall, and on the right hand side will be wall lights, and on top of that you are going to have your either your backward stairs or your edited cone into the ramp, which will fling them into this box over here. So if we then go in left 1 square from here, and you're going to have a floor launcher down here, and in front of you will be wall lights. Again, you don't have to necessarily have this edited window. It's just for me to be able to see what's going on. On the left hand side will be wall lights. Will be sound wall, should I say. And on the right, I've got wall dynamo, but you can have whichever wall trap you like. And the same on the back wall as well. I've got wall dynamo there as well. Now, from this one here then, for this wall and for this wall, you will need to place another wall above them with a ceiling up there. Now the only reason we don't have any ceiling electric field in there is because this is mainly this box for sort of trying to recycle them a little bit. So you could even take out these 2 wall dynamos and just have it with wall lights and sound walls, and that will recycle them rather than killing them. So you can quite easily take out the 2 wall dynamos if you want, but make sure you do have a ceiling up above to connect so that they don't get flung too high up. Otherwise they can sometimes end up getting out and causing trouble. So that is there, and one final edited wall then on the right hand side there as well. So that will cover that bit. Now what we'll need to do now is we do need to get up to the top. Now all this bit has been covered and done from there. So from this square, which we've already got our traps on, you will place another wall in front of you here, just to make sure nothing is going to lob in from over there. That one is already in place. So from this square, if you move forward 1, which if you've got all these structures in the way, can be hard work trying to get up there. So from this, you are going to go and place a floor, and if you move forward 1, you will place another floor on here. Now to the left of that, place another floor on that one, and if you then come back to this square, go forward to this one, place another square, and then you are going to place 2 to your left. So you will place 1 here and 1 over there as well. From this point, you are going to go forward 1 and place another floor on this one. To your right, another one, and to your right, another one. And this one will tie you in line with this. So from here, you're going to place another one, another floor piece, but you want to make sure that you do edit this corner piece out. If you do leave that flat like that, then they can sometimes come along to this edge and they can just fall straight down onto the corner of this, which they can then just wander around and cause havoc. So make sure you do edit that corner piece from there, and then to the right of that, just place 1 more piece there. Now this section is just to make sure that nothing from down here anywhere can start lobbing up towards this, because they will aim around this section trying to destroy all of these so that they can get to the amplifier. So this is just an extra bit of defenses on there. And yeah, for our north defenses, that is pretty much it. I do have some directional pads, but I've only left them here because they've been here for so long. I think I placed them probably early on in my SSDs, so you don't necessarily have to have these. They're fine. But the only other thing that I did want to mention, because all of this is done and placed up here. Now we did have this section we done earlier, and down here you will get the occasional husk which will come down this direction. So these are the other defenses we're going to go into in the next video. But if you come down along this point, now this is where it ties in with our wooden structure, which was naturally here. So up here again is this, I can't even get up here now, is this natural sort of wooden structure. So I did just place one ceiling piece up here with a ceiling electric field, and these are the 3 walls that we did place earlier on, just so that nothing is going to stand at this spot, because otherwise they will stand here, lobbers, and they will fling straight through this, straight up over the top, and cause problems there. So I did place one ceiling electric field up on that. And there is one other thing that I do want to mention, and I don't want you to forget about this, otherwise it will cause some major problems later on. Caused me such a headache. Now, because they do all spawn around this point, when you do get to later waves with the lobbers, they will literally come all the way around this mountain. I don't know why, it's really annoying, but they will come all the way around this mountain to try and find an angle on your amplifier. So what I did do is, from this edge where it overlooks the sort of edge of the map really, I did just place 2 walls with 2 wall launchers in there, because otherwise they were coming around here, coming all the way around this, and it's really weird and annoying. I don't even know why. They were coming around all of this, and they were walking across this to get to pretty much back where they started. Yes. And yeah, and they were finding a way to stand here and lob straight over the top. So it is one of those random things, but make sure you do stick those 2 wall launchers on the side of that mountain over there. But yes, that is our defenses for our north side. Is pretty much everything covered there. If you do need to sort of get an aerial view of it, that is what it looks like from up here. You do not need to worry about placing any traps or anything up, around this section. They're really not going to, cause any problem there at all. It will literally, they will normally head down this way, or they will head across here and fall down here, or they'll fall down around here somewhere. You will, in some later waves, you will get them heading in this direction, which is why we've got this little bit here. And we left this open so that the smashers will hopefully, which 90% of the time they do, will hopefully see the open spot and go that way. And they will fall down here, and they can be dealt with and no problem. You will get the occasional smasher, which for some unknown reason will want to bash through these structures. And in 1 or 2 instances, they did smash through all of this lot. And then they got as far as here, and they kind of thought, I'm stuck, I can't go anywhere. And they literally just stayed there, sort of rocking back and forth, and then despawned. So they shouldn't really cause any problem, even if they do break through any of the block off. But yeah, that is all of our defenses for Amplifier A from the north. So I hope you do find this video useful. If you do, don't forget to drop a like down below, smash that subscribe before you go, and if you turn on the notification bell, then you will always get updated of all my content when it comes out. If you do buy anything from the Fortnite store, please consider using code RiverFox, as it will help me out a great deal. But until the next time, I hope you have a lovely day and stay safe, my friends.